Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome to the channel and welcome to Manor Lords. It feels so good to finally be able to say that after years of waiting, and I want to give a massive shout out to Hooded Horse for allowing me to play this a little bit earlier and showing you guys everything that is going to be in early access, and that's something I'm going to be trying to do with this Let's Play. If you've never heard of Manor Lords before, it is a medieval city builder with a real kind of grounded historical feel to it, which I love. It looks beautiful, and it also has a ton of like military combat mechanics in the game as well, so you're not just building up your settlement, you're having to defend it from brigands and invading armies, so that's like a nice little addition to the game. However, I will say this, if you're going into this thinking it's going to be something like Total War, that's definitely not the case. It is a medieval city builder. It just also has some military combat added to it, which I feel like is a nice little cherry on top. So in this playthrough, I'm going to be trying to build up and basically bring us to the end of all the content that is currently available in early access. I'll be doing time lapses during the boring bit so you guys can see the settlement continue to grow and expand, but I'll be sure to go ahead and give you guys a good plan on exactly what we're planning on doing that episode, as well as the overall structure of how we're going to build things out. If you guys enjoy this and want to see more of it on the channel, be sure to go and drop a like and a comment down below. It helps out massively, and let's say if this video gets 500 likes within the first 24 hours, I'll make sure that episode 2, which will be up tomorrow, will be also an hour long. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, as we will be doing plenty of guide videos as well. So if you're looking to kind of get the upper foot in Manor Lords before it does release, then of course subscribe to the channel. You'll be one of the first people to know. And finally, I'll make sure I leave a playlist of the entire series down below in the pinned comment, so if you are watching this in the future, you'll be able to go ahead and binge the entire series. But let's just dive in and see everything Manor Lord has to offer. One thing I really like as well is the coat of arms designer. You can really go absolutely ham in how you decide it and all the different intricacies and everything. It's really nice. However, I'm going to be using a custom one, importing this, which was actually really simple and easy to do, which I love just how simple it was. Of course, we're going to obviously pick this dude as I feel like he represents me quite nicely, and of course we are going to be Baron Harkonnen because this is going to be my desert, my dune, my Arrakis. We're going to rule with an iron fist. In Manor Lords, we have the choice of 3 starting scenarios, and I imagine these will expand with different maps as the game does continue to go through early access. Right now, we have the Rise to Prosperity, which is very much just your lay back, chill, build a medieval village, and have a good time. I think there's basically 0 combat in the entire game, and your objective is just simply to build a large town. Next, we have the Restoring the Peace scenario, which is basically 2 territories in the north are claimed by an illegitimate baron, and we of course have to go ahead and rise up, become strong enough to claim his lands, and then push him out of the region. So this is going to go ahead and be focused heavily around the city building, but also a lot more melee combat. And then finally, we then have the On the Edge scenario, which is a very much more military focused campaign. You're going to be rising up as quickly as you can to push off large swarms of raiders and attackers, so it's going to be very much about just surviving for as long as possible and reaching that large town with a lot more focus on the combat side of things, which I think again is a real nice kind of situation. There's a scenario for every single player. We're going to be doing with Restoring the Peace because I feel like this is just the best place to learn the game. I currently have about 10 hours in it, and I feel like I have a really good understanding about how everything works and the stuff you kind of need to focus on early to go ahead and set you up for the future, which is why my guide videos hopefully will help a lot of you guys out, because yeah, winters can be pretty brutal. You can also adjust a lot of the stats down here if you want to, depending on when you want to start, the starting supplies. Again, there's a lot more here as well if you want to go and kind of make things harder for yourself or easier. That's everything you can do, which I think again is really, really important. So let's just dive in. Let's see what spawn we get, because you spawn in any of the 3 regions, so you could get a spawn on one side of the map and then you play again and you get spawned on the other side of the map. It is all up to basically the randomness of the game. We start out with a little bit of a, I guess, shelter here. We start out with a beautiful ox, some supplies to build, and of course, some food. We zoom out, we'll be able to see quite easily where we are on the campaign map. So this is currently our claimed territory on the right-hand side. We'll have access to everything in here, but of course, we're going to have to expand to go ahead and make sure we unlock better resources resources and obviously keep it flowing back into the kingdom and back into the other villages. And then you can also see the illegitimate places that the Baron, the enemy Baron right here, Hillbolt, currently owns as well. We're going to have to try and claim them, but again, that is going to be expensive, and he's also going to be expanding as well. His keep is off map right now, so he's not building on the campaign map, but he is claiming and utilizing these resources. So what do we want to do at the beginning of the game? Well, we have a few objectives if we take a look at it. So of course we have homelessness in the kingdom, so building houses for these people are going to be very, very important. We also have our supplies completely out in the open, so building a storehouse and a granary going to be number one, and then getting that passive food income as well as the resources coming in is basically going to be our goal. Luckily, we have access to wild animals right by us, as well as the berries. That's going to be our food to basically last us the first winter. We also have access to a ton of trees, so clearing this out is going to be our number one priority. And then finally, I definitely by the end of this episode want to have my farm down, preparing itself for the coming winter. I doubt it's going to be able to actually produce us any yield, but it might be able to if we're fast enough and we get everything sorted. And here we go, nice little victory condition right here, letting us know exactly what we need to do, and that's basically claim all opponents' regions. So we have to conquer the 2 regions in the north. I think, however, we're going to need to maybe conquer a few of the other ones just to keep us going. We can also see on the map that there is going to be several deposits. We actually got quite a lucky spawn, as we have a very nice iron deposit, because once this iron is gone, it's completely gone, and you'll be able to see in other regions, it's like 68. So the fact that we have a rich one, which gives us 1800 iron, is really nice. The same with clay. Both of these resources are a bit more of the mid-game stuff, so not stuff that's going to help us out early, but we should be absolutely fine, and as long as we make it that far, we'll be in a good situation. So let's start things off. So the first thing you're going to always want to do is stick down a logging camp. This is going to be really important, because if you forget to put one of these down and you start building everything else first, then that's going to really hurt you, as you're not going to be able to produce any wood. I'm going to stick it down over on this corner, because I want to kind of utilize this to clear out the surrounding trees around here. You can just stick buildings down and it will get rid of this wood, but you do have to then replant trees as well, so there's a good chance that you might just deforest the entire area. So we're going to stick down that logging camp right away. We're then also, of course, going to need a storehouse, so I think something we're going to have to do is kind of build off here. And again, just to keep in mind, I don't have to build here if I don't want to. I could build a settlement out here, I could build a settlement over here. It's all up to me as the player to decide, but I feel like this is probably a good starting area. And you can also, again, see that where kind of you can build a lot of stuff. So yeah, we do not have a lot of fertile land whatsoever around us. Okay, so our farms can kind of go out here, I think is going to have to be the goal. This is, again, something really good to check. We have, oh god. Yeah, okay. Farming is going to be a little bit difficult, but we can utilize trading and other means to go ahead and build that. And we can also obviously just fertilize the ground a little bit more to make it a little bit more accessible. Okay, good to know though. So I think, yeah, we're gonna probably have to make our way over here at some point to to fertilize that ground and build up. I mean, that's even more of a reason, I guess, to build up our farms early, as we can actually utilize that to refertilize the ground. Okay, so let's go and grab our road then. We're gonna stick it out here a little bit just on the corner, and we'll build that little that position right there. We'll then make sure that we stick down a storehouse. That's gonna be something that is gonna be really important to stick down as well. And whilst that's happening, we can just let the villagers go out and do their work. I'm definitely going to stick this up to a construction priority. This means that basically the workers are going to work that as fast as possible. And you'll notice up here in the top left hand corner, this is how many unassigned families we have. In Manor Lords, every worker is tied to a family, and families work the job. So you have one family working the logging, for example, and I think you can have up to 3. And so basically your workers are kind of categorized in that system, which again is a really interesting and different way of doing it. Rather than having individual people, you have families, which means you're a little bit tight on workers, and that's definitely one of the things you're going to have to try and sort out as quickly as possible. It's just getting more people into your village as quickly as possible. So yeah, as you can see, we obviously have 5 right now. When they're unassigned, they all work on construction if they've got nothing to do, and when we assign them, they're not going to be able to do that construction. So there is a little bit of a balance right there. But we'll be able to see that this is being built now, the logging camp, and then they'll start chopping away the trees here. And then we can simply, if we want to, just go ahead and once it's built, just move it somewhere else. So we can easily just move it up here and continue to cut down more trees if we want to. So we have the storehouse down, we have the logging camp down, which is nice. Next, I think something we're going to probably want to do is start building up some houses. So let's build ourselves a little kind of, I guess a little like enclave going out here. Something like this, and we can even maybe kind of build off some houses like that. I kind of want my village to be very like, not messy, but I want it not to look as like organic of modern settlements. So we can do, I don't know, something like that, and we can rotate them around. It is quite important to have these gardens attached to them because you can do some really nice stuff. So we're going to stick down 2 houses there. We're going to stick these down lower on the priority because, of course, we're going to want to build that up, but I'd rather get the storehouse up and running right away. And then we can even kind of like adjust up this road like that. Yeah, I kind of want it to look very organic and messy. I'm also going to be probably building into this area at some point to wherever I want to put my castle. I always like to put the castle up on high ground, so looking around to try and find where is a good position that's yeah, definitely where we'll look up. Nice, there we have it. Our logging camp is now done, so we're going to probably stick 2 workers in there for now. They're going to start clearing the trees, and there you go. You can see 2 families. So 2 families have now been assigned to this, and we still have 3 unassigned, which is good because that will allow us to continue to build up. We are also, however, we do also only have 1 ox as well. So this 1 ox is the one moving around all our material to these villages. So considering we only have 1, that means it's going to basically slow down however much construction we actually have. So building a second one is going to be really important, and we can use this regional wealth to go ahead and actually grab, to actually pay for another ox to just basically help speed up construction. Yeah, you can see these people are just nattering to each other. They got nothing better to do. We need another ox ASAP to force these guys back to work. What would the Baron say? Something else as well, as we are starting to produce more equipment, is I do of course want to get this wild animal hut up and running in the forest. The sooner we get that, the sooner they can start hunting and producing us food. So making our way over to the building tab right here, we can get a hunting cabin down. This is going to start giving us some pretty nice resources because not only does it give us meat, it also gives us furs, and which we can turn into leather to help support some of our civilians. Here we go. The evil Baron Hildebolt has sent us a message saying that he, it is his honor. He heard of my renown and he only seeks to defend the right to guard his lands. Well, I will tell him you have no rightful claim whatsoever. It really reminds me of like a Kingdom Come Deliverance. So we'll send that back to him. I think it's a bit more roleplay than anything else. It is really nice though, sitting back and just watching the game. The music is so nice and you can really just watch the boys get everything done. Our tree fellows are here creating our logs, which is going to be really useful. The more of this stuff we get, the better. Of course, as soon as we get this bad boy up and running, we'll be able to store all of our resources, get it out of the rain and everything else, because we are in March. So as you can see, every season does play a pretty large part in the game. During spring, there's going to be frequent rains and seasonal deposits will regrow. That's going to basically be the berries. I think that's the only seasonal deposit on the map. The wild animals just replenish generally. So yeah, it's basically going to be, you're going to be able to farm these berries in the springtime and in March, but as soon as you harvest them, they're not going to grow. But as soon as you harvest them, that's going to be them gone until again the next spring does come along. So you're going to be limited on that, but still going to be a useful one to pick pick up nonetheless. So that does also mean we're going to probably want to go and try and throw down our granary as quickly as possible as well. So we're going to grab the granary, and I think it's going to be not a bad idea to stick it down over on this side of the map. As soon as that hunting cabin is done, we'll be in a good situation. And I think I'm actually going to stick these up to medium priority. Something else though we should probably do is get another hitching post. We don't actually have enough wood right now to do that because I've just stuck down these. But yeah, grabbing another hitching post would be a good idea. Getting 2 of these oxes working would actually be really nice. And I'm actually going to go up to 3 logging camps, 3 families on logging camps just this early on because we are in desperate need of more timber. So as I mentioned earlier, one of the biggest things in the game is getting population. The more families you have, the more jobs you can work, the more resources you can gather, the more likely you are to survive. And the way you get that is by getting your approval above 50 and then above 75. If you get it above 50, you'll start getting a minor increase to your population growth, so more families will be looking to go ahead and arrive. And then if you get it above 75, you'll start getting families in a lot quicker. So that's something you're going to be really focused in on. And you basically, to achieve that, just need to go and meet the demands of your villagers by getting access to water, the church levels, the fuel supplies, as well as food and different types of food, and then finally clothing. So meeting them initial needs are going to be your #1 goal, because the sooner you do that, the sooner you get your approval up. Let's get another house down, and then I'm immediately going to go over here and get this hunting cabin up because we do desperately need food. And of course, we also need our granary. Basically, everything is going to be our #1 priority right now, as long as we're getting enough wood info. And I think they're doing a great job. Yeah, we're up to 10 timber, so they're already cutting down these trees pretty nicely, effectively clearing and deforesting this part, which is exactly what we want to do, is we want to kind of make a clean path over to our farms. And one of the really cool things I think we're going to do here is we're going to have like kind of our main village here, and then we're going to cut our way off here, and we'll build some more houses like around this area so they can easily supply in. That does mean though we're going to need to obviously build a bit of a marketplace. Marketplaces are really crucial because that's kind of how your citizens get their needs, and it'll allow other families to sell resources whilst we're kind of working our jobs. Okay, perfect. The hunting camp is now done, so we're going to stick a family in there. They're going to start obviously going in and clearing out the wild animals here, and we've got a limit set here down to 10, so we'll basically hunt these guys down to 10. It wouldn't be a bad idea to make a little pathway through the forest as well. It's kind of a distant way to go and work, but like kind of hitting them berries is going to be important in the beginning of the game. So I think after we've got our 5 houses built, after the granary is built, we're going to have to focus on getting that in as well, because if we don't, I'm a little bit scared my people will starve, and we of course do not want that. So our next plan of action, now that we've got a couple houses building, is to probably stick down a marketplace. This is going to be how our civilians go and get all of their food and their equipment and their leather, their tools, etc. This will be the main place. So we plot that a little bit of land out right there, and then families, I think our hunting family, where is it? Right here, will now go ahead and set up a stall selling meat and selling hides. So they'll basically take what they've got there, bring it back here and start selling it, which is going to be really nice because again, immediately we'll start meeting a bit of this food supply, immediately we'll start getting this other stuff in as well. We actually have plenty. Yeah, we have plenty of timber now. So what we're going to do is, I think, well, we do also need a well down as well. Luckily, there's plenty of places for this. So probably just stick it down in like the crossroads like here. I mean, we could make a little bit of space right there as well. But yeah, I think right now we have a lot of territory there. Yeah, let's stick it down somewhere like this, and we can even build around it as well if we wanted to. Yeah, because I think what I'm going to want to do is do something along the lines of bringing this road out like so. And I kind of like the idea of actually making it maybe like a little bit more curvy. So yeah, we'll do something a bit more like this, because I'll probably end up doing like that and having a few more like houses split off right there. So yeah, we have these other 2 houses right there. I think our next goal is to stick down, of course, the last couple. So we need, what, 5 more houses. So I think something like this could be great. When we rotate it, is there enough room? And that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4 houses, as well as an expansion right there. Now, keep in mind, these houses don't have gardens, but we don't necessarily need every house of a garden because we can't really even afford to put stuff in there. So I think sticking down these houses is going to be a good idea, and that'll basically set us up for the future. I'm going to stick probably this house on the end. Yeah, let's stick this house on the end as low priority. We need to get these 3 houses done. Our granary is almost done as well, so we'll stick that up to high. It just needs the finishing touches, and then we'll get the rest of the houses fully complete up. Next, we're going to need to probably deal with some of our firewood, getting that done so that we don't obviously freeze to death in the pouring rain. Looks like England right now. Look at that. This is literally what it looks like when I look out my window every single day, which is funny. It looks great though, it really does. Another very good tip, if you are wondering about kind of how to realize what's going on in your empire, is if you press tab, it'll bring up this screen right here, which will give you a nice little glimpse. It will show you how many families are working a specific building. It will show you the needs of your villages, and as you upgrade them, different needs will be important. So obviously keeping a close eye on that is going to be imperative. So now I think what we want to probably stick down is another ox cart. We are going to have to, of course, be able to, and I'm actually going to probably upgrade this to a very high priority. The sooner it's built, the better. We are going to, of course, have to buy another ox, but luckily we do have enough wealth to start off. That's not really an issue. So we've got that stuck down. I think we're also now 100% going to need a woodcutter's lodge so that we can start actually utilizing the timber that we've got, so we can actually have some firewood, and then they'll also go and work and sell it on the market stall, because right now we actually have very little in the pantry. I guess the families haven't made their way over. And we can even go and grab this right here. Get this little road and kind of connect that up so we don't have to go all the way around. We also should probably grab someone up on our storage house as well, and also on our granary. They will basically be utilized to go and drag more people from the surrounding areas into here, and they'll obviously go and grab this food, because I imagine right now a lot of these supplies are getting very wet right now, which is obviously not something that we want. We could even go and expand out a little bit here. No, we can't quite get that road. Okay, that's fine for now. Okay, so let's get this hitching post done. Then everybody else should be grabbing these supplies now. We have one family still building. And nice. Hopefully we'll then be able to kind of go down and build a lot more of this stuff. The food is pouring in, as well as the hides, which are great. We'll get a tannery. And yeah, then I think once that's done, we want to make our way over to the berry deposit. Nice. Our hitching post is now complete. And as you can see, we can either order an ox or we can go and order a new horse. We're going to go with the ox because that's obviously useful with production and it's a little bit cheaper as well. So boom, we're going to head and purchase that. That's going to come to us fairly soon. I think a merchant from off the map will come in and he'll come and sell it to us. And that'll give us basically an extra tool to start producing, which again will be really nice. I am going to probably stick up the construction of the wood lodge next as well, because I don't want to run out of fuel. I mean, I say that we do actually have 15 months of fuel, so we can actually stick that down. I think it's more important to get these houses built, get these people off the streets as quickly as possible. Now, something else we can do, and it's actually probably quite a good idea early on, is construct something here to start getting a little bit more of a certain resource. For these level 1s, you can only produce these basic raw materials, but as you upgrade to the Burgers, which is the level 2 settlement, which is something you achieve once you finally meet all the amenities and the market supplies of your faction, you'll be able to start producing this stuff. But I think early on, it's not a bad idea to start grabbing other stuff. So we're going to grab a chicken coop right there, and as you can see, it's going to take basically all of our regional wealth to do that. But I don't think we're going to need it until we get a little bit further on in the game and until we get tier 2 settlements, which is going to be our number 1 goal. Is once that happens, then we can kind of advance the game a little bit more. Perfect. Look at this. So we do now have the second ox arriving. Our settlements are almost fully completed, and that will now start helping us out massively with our approval rating. We want to get this above 50 as quickly as possible, because that's when we can actually start encouraging more families to arrive, and then we'll even have a sixth settlement ready to go as soon as they do arrive and actually want to start coming. We also have a generic storage, which still has a little bit of extra territory and resources to grab. I think we've actually got all of our storage here as well from the granary. So one thing we can do now that there's nothing else really for the granary to do at the moment, they're not even working the market stall, because you'll be able to tell that our hunters actually are currently working the market stall right now, is because they have this little stall icon right there. So what we can even do is we can go ahead and remove this person, and then that will send the family back to doing something else. This is a big tip for the game, is you don't need to leave families on certain stuff, especially during the certain months that go ahead and progress through the game. Is you're going to be for a large period of time moving around your families, so something just to keep in mind and keep on working. Our approval should start going up because we'll have several variants of food. And there you go. We have built our final home. We are now a small village. We've increased our development level, which is pretty exciting. It brings us over to the, basically, I guess, tech screen. And this is individual for every single village, depending on where you build them, what territory. It'll be different for every single one. Now, something that wouldn't be a bad idea for us, because we're all about the mining in this territory. Okay, yeah, the mining with these two very rich deposits. Good to know. Okay, so I guess something that we should probably look to do. I mean, I like the heavy plow just because we have a second ox right away. So this will allow us to basically utilize the ox to plow the fields, which can be very useful. But our fertility is just so bad that I'm not sure if it's even worth it right away. Charcoal burners are pretty nice to get us going. But yeah, going down the skinning also could be a good idea. No, what we're going to do is and also obviously breeding sheep as well, because that could actually be a great way for us to actually produce, because we're not going to be good at cropping in this place. But let's do it. Let's go down the heavy plow, because I think that's literally the next thing I want to do, is get the farmyard up and running as quickly as possible, because obviously we're already in April. We've only got one more month until May. So yeah, it could be a great idea to set up the farm ready for the winter. And here we go, our first little glimpse at the military. A strong militia is paramount to survival of any settlement. Luckily, a shipment of weapons has just arrived, and you'll now be able to create your first military banners to serve you and protect your people. However, we will need more weapons to equip all the people as the settlement grows, either by making them or importing them from foreign lands. So that's something that we're going to probably actually have to quite readily focus on, is importing stuff, because as I said, we have a lot of, actually we will be producing our weapons here, I think, with our iron deposit being as strong as it is, but we'll probably actually have to end up importing other stuff such as food. I'm also going to stick down a berry farm all the way out here. It is very far out, so it's going to take us a little while to transport this stuff, but I think it's going to be important to get these berries in, and the people love the different types of food. Let's get this Burgess plot built, and we'll stick this up to medium, as I want that to be finished off. So we have, if we do get above the approval rating, which we should once the homelessness goes away, we'll then be able to quite handsomely focus on that. And I want this to be done like ASAP as well. So once that's done, we also want to probably focus on getting our farm down. So let's build out a little bit of a road then. Let's get that settlement pushing out here a bit. We'll build like a little bit of a windy road down here. Something along them lines, like there, I think is a good idea. And then we need to, of course, take a look at our growth rate, man. It is not good. It is not good out here. The flax can be built basically nowhere. The barley can be, I guess, here. That's not great, is it? That's really not good at all. Okay, though, not the end of the world. We can make this work. This village isn't really designed for it, but that's fine. So what we'll do is we'll stick down our farming house here. And I should probably just focus in on other stuff, but we need to sort this out early, otherwise it's just going to be really, really painful. Let's get this farmhouse down like here. We can then build some kind of wheat farms here. And then we can even kind of produce our way back here. If we do go back, we'll build our barley like behind us a little bit, and then our flax. I mean, maybe we just end up importing flax because we don't really have anywhere good to stick it down. But we can also take this time just to fertilize the fields. Maybe what we decide on doing is we don't actually go to producing crops in this season, as we're a bit late anyway, right? We didn't sow in autumn. Yeah, maybe that was a bit silly. So maybe we take this time just to like kind of fertilize the land and build that up. Could definitely be a good plan of action considering our situation. Speaking of our militias, something I didn't do, I kind of glossed over, is we can now make our militias. So as you can see, we currently have 20 spears and 20 large shields. So we're going to want to go and build this unit of spear militia into our army. You can see we actually only have 10 people in there, but we can go ahead and outfit them with the basic set of equipment. We're going to have to build more to fully outfit them, and we can even upgrade them with better armor and weapons. We can even stick down the rally as well, so if we ever need to, we can rally the boys and they'll come rushing out, if we ever get attacked by bandits, which definitely will happen. And you can see them forming up into their unit. The banners have been called indeed. Not very effective right now, but yeah, still good nonetheless. And we command this just basically like any other game. You drag along, you can set their width, you can obviously stick them to stand their ground, which is going to be much more dependent on their capabilities. Missile alert as well to stick their shields up if archers are coming in. More of a balanced formation. You can even tell them to like give ground and they'll fall back slowly, which is quite cool. We are going to want to obviously disband these guys though for now, and they can go back to working their jobs. We don't need the militia yet, but nice to know that we have them ready, and we can obviously expand out more as we get more people, more families to help build our army. I would say our village is coming along quite nicely. We just need to get this approval rating up so we can start inhabiting more families. So that's been 50%. Our farmyard is also 50%. So as of right now, we kind of just need these things to be built before we look to do anything else. Eventually, a church is going to be our main priority, as that's going to be the last thing we really need. Obviously, clothes is going to be important. That's fine for now. We're letting, obviously, this build up a little bit more. We can even obviously get rid of this family here as well. We have a lot of hides, which is nice, so we can get rid of that family, and I'll probably move them to working on the berries when that final place is built up. But again, it's quite a long journey out there, so these things do take a little bit longer to build. But I would say so far so good. We've kind of got our initial setup right here, and you can even see it, which is nice on the map. You can see us starting to spawn out. Now, something to keep an eye on is bandit camps. There's a bandit camp all the way over here of brigands, and they will come and raid us now and again. Some will be them actually attacking us. Others will be them just kind of coming in and stealing stuff in the dark of night. So there's some events we can mess around with and stop them, and there's others that we're not going to be able to. However, I think for now, we'll continue on just building up our settlement. Again, more families is going to be our biggest kind of plot hole right now. That's something that we need almost immediately to grab. But I think that will, next month go up because we have a nice food variety. We have plenty of houses, and that homelessness should go away after the 30 days is up and we go into April. Beautiful. So our farmhouse is now complete, which is really good. We are going to add a plowing station so we can go and grab an ox there, because I think we're going to want to plow the fields quite quickly. And now we also get to decide exactly where we're going to stick them. Have we also built this yet? No, that's still 50%. So I'll go and build that next. We'll stick that a high priority just in case there's something else that they need to do, because yeah, getting these berries, giving us another source of food is going to be important right away. Okay, well, let's go to our farming and get down these initial fields. So I think we're going to, I guess we could probably do quite a big field here. How long do we want it though? Let's maybe extend this road just a tad. Yeah, something along them lines, and then we're gonna get this initial field down. Again, it's not the best for wheat, but it's gonna be big enough that it should be able to, survive quite nicely, and we'll get this on there. So how much? Yeah, it's 33%. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and regenerate the fields. We're gonna try and fallow them for now. I think that's gonna be a good idea. Is we basically just take this time to kind of try and sort out the fertility, because it's really not very good. And then over here, we have flax and barley. Yeah, barley, that's going to be such a poor setup, but we could do something like this, honestly. Let's have a look really quickly. I mean, it's just such a small plot that it's just like, yeah, it's only, oh my god, it's so bad. Okay, well, the thing is, we want to get these down early, so I guess we'll fallow this season, and then next season, we'll move in. So I think what we'll do then over here is, yeah, we'll set a plot up like from this side, I guess. Yeah, I want to set it up like this, I think. Again, and we'll just fallow them because the fertility is just so bad. So we'll work on that. We'll end up probably sticking like a little bit of pasture right here so we can get some animals in there. Again, it's going to be a little bit of a while until we get any sheep or anything, but still nice to kind of stick it down and just have it kind of visible for us. And then I guess we'll have like another field. I mean, that's actually a bit fertile. Yeah, it's way more fertile over on this side. Okay. Okay, well, we can make that work. That is still in our territory, right? So can we go across this stream? We can. Okay, well, we could probably do something along that lines then. And the fertility here is actually 43%. So actually, I might stick that as wheat right now. Yeah, let's stick that as wheat right now and see if we can do that. It's kind of cool how it goes through the stream as well. Less area, but still nice. And then, again, you want to kind of go kind of hard on this as well. And can we do that? We'll make that. And then does that give us anything? Again, 45 for wheat. So that's actually a really good system. I should have maybe built my farmhouse a bit further down. And then we're actually still building there. So stick that up a high priority right away. Nice. So we're at 50% approval. You can see that we have a low population growth. So families will start to come to us. We are building up the berry farm. That is, I think, about to be built, which is nice. And then we come back, we build that, and we try and sow or at least sort out the fields whilst we can. Yeah, because that's going to be brutal. But I like that. I like how we've got these fields set up. I might even try and fellow this one. There's a lot of fields for us to work as well. I doubt we're going to be able to work all of them until we get a few more families, of course. I'm just going to basically attach one more family to this. But, having these farms just being fellowed is fine for me because it will just boost the fertility. And that's kind of what we need. Can we not do this? Do we maybe have too many? Is it too big, do you guys think? Yeah, maybe it's too big. Or maybe we just honestly have too many. Yeah, there you go. Cool. And then we'll fellow this one as well. So they'll generate just fertility basically here. Hopefully these will be better and that'll be a bit better. Yeah, I could have maybe built my farm like here and then just built these two, but I kind of like that idea. It's a little bit further off. And yeah, you can start to see our fields are pumping. We need a lot of families to work this, but it's going to be worth it once it is. So let's go ahead and speed things up. We, of course, want this to be fully built up. Who are you? Are you just like a wandering merchant? Yeah, he must be. There's a wandering merchant moving around. You'll also see mercenaries as well. I don't think there's any on the map right now, but you'll also see mercenary parties moving around, just having a good time, not really kind of causing too much. And nice, our forager hut has also been done. So do we have a spare family? What do we have people working on right now? We currently only have one spare family. We have one on wood chopping, one there on storage. We don't really need someone on storage, even though he is making up the owned thing, but I think that'll move over. Yeah, now this guy will take over the firewood, which is good anyway. Our farmhouse is now done. Okay, so we don't really have a need for building at the moment. We kind of have everything, so we'll stick someone down to collect these berries, which will be good. This is very much a seasonal job. You pick all the berries and then you move on to something else. Approval is now going up massively because of the amount of food that we have access to. Yeah, they have a lot of food variety, eggs, bread, and meat, and then soon to be berries, which is going to be really nice. And so we'll hopefully get a new family member soon. Yeah, a new family will be big, I think, for us. And we don't need anyone to be anyone on the granary either, which we just don't need, which is good. Okay, so the family's going to come over here. We have our hitching post as well. So we can, if we want to, just straight up automatically assign an ox. Remember, we got that beginning improvement right here, the heavy plow. And that will allow us to basically sort these fields out. I'm going to try and get these fields done early. I don't think it's going to happen, though. And then these are all fellowed, yeah. I'm going to try my best to kind of sort out this field and see if we can get any crop return. I don't think we're going to be able to. But we'll try. We'll try. Can we not actually cross this? Do we have to build like a bridge or something? I'm actually not 100% sure how we get across this lake river, because I don't think there's any like bridges or anything, but we can't build a road across. Oh, we can. Okay, cool. We can. Good. And what happens? It's just like a mini stream. I mean, it's not really exactly very big. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then we'll build, I guess we'll build another one just out here as well. Boom, cool. And I guess we can even attach it to this minor road, as I assume that's a minor road. I actually don't know what it is. Either way, that's good. So hopefully we'll start seeing these farmlands being chopped up and prepared, because 45% isn't bad. It's not great, but it's not bad considering the area that we've got ourselves in. One thing we can actually notice as well is as they do start to plow the settlements, you can also see people are doing it by hand as well. So the family is all out here plowing the field, which is nice because it means that like one family is doing one side and the other, kind of the plow is also being used in another, which is good. So yeah, hopefully we can get some stuff sowed. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to, because if it is summer and we can get the crops to actually harvest, we can then force a harvest in, and that'll give us access to the wheat early, allowing us to then start making bread and the windmill and other things along them lines. I am still waiting for a new family to arrive. That is something that we are currently lacking. And something else we're going to want to probably do is get some leather up and running, because I imagine we have a decent amount of leather stored, probably in the hunting lodge, right? Yeah, we only have one hide. I wonder where the rest of it is. Because if we go over to this, you can see we have 16 hides. I actually don't know where it's being stored. If it's not in my granary, and it's not in... Oh, it's probably my storehouse, of course, yeah. Yeah, in the storehouse. Good. So we can actually make like a tanner, and you can start using the leather. And then that would allow us to start getting the next settlement up, which would then start giving us some passive income, which would actually be really, really nice, and maybe something that we'd actually want to do. I kind of want to go up to 6 families first, though. Yeah, I kind of want to go up to 6 families, and I also probably want to get some houses built over by the industrial part. Just like nothing too crazy. Just something like, I don't know, something a little bit smaller than that, I guess. As I don't want too many. Maybe something like that. Yeah, maybe something like that I think would be a good idea. Oh, a good tip as well is you can, when you're building houses, I think if you just press H, it will just sort out your houses for you as well. So you do that and then you press H and it should sort it out. Maybe not. Maybe I'm completely making that up. But I thought I saw that, which was kind of cool. How are the fields doing? I don't know if we're going to get all the work done in May. We only have this month to do it, so it's going to be a very close one. Okay, cool. Let's set... I don't know why she's going all the way over here. Yeah, she's kind of going from bit to bit instead of just going up and down. Oh, it's probably because of the river going through, maybe? I'm not too sure. Either way, it's taking her a little bit longer to do this, but I guess it's fine. I don't understand why you don't just go up and down. But yeah, they're working hard. They're working hard, which is all we can ask. How's the berry collection doing? Yeah, collecting berries, which is good, slowly but surely. And we honestly just need the extra family. Yeah, we really badly need that extra family. Something else that is actually pretty useful and something we should probably do right now is you can see we're actually at our log storage limit right now. We actually physically can't have any more, so there's no real need to have a family working on it because they can't work right now. They have also cleared out a lot of this territory, so something we could do during this period is actually go ahead and move the logging camps to somewhere else if we wanted to. But I think for now, we'll just go ahead and dismantle the family and kind of think about what else we really need in this settlement. We've got our farm, we've got food coming in, which is good. So I guess to level up our settlement, we kind of need obviously a church and a clothing store. So let's maybe go ahead and focus in on that. So I think what we need to do is, yeah, probably get the tannery going. And that's going to kind of pop in our like industry district that we have going on. I want it a little bit further away from the houses because, of course, all the stinkiness. But we can build it like that. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably like expand this out like around and have something like this so more industry can go here. If we're going to have houses over here, and inevitably keep in mind we're going to be moving this logging camp at some point. So it's not going to be here. And we're going to have houses like here. We're going to have houses like here. And maybe like a church in the center. I don't think we can actually kind of plan it out, which is something I always love in city building games, is like the ability to like kind of like makeshift put stuff down. And yeah, maybe we'll have like a church here because there isn't really much high ground, right? Yeah, and boom, there we go. Our first family has arrived. Perfect. It does tank whenever a new family does arrive. It does tank your approval, so that is something to keep in mind. That is really nice. So yeah, let's maybe... we're going to probably move this hitching post as well at some point. Yeah, probably going to move this hitching post closer to the farmland so they can use that. It's June now. Yeah, we're not going to have enough time to sow the fields, but it's fine. They can basically just last a little bit longer, and we'll fallow these fields still as well. That's fine. I mean, what I could do is I could maybe just take another family there and really try and push. But I doubt it, right? Because we're not going to be able to... Yeah, because sowing is all autumn and stuff. So yeah, we're not going to be able to do much of the stuff. Okay, that's fine. And more family members are joining as well, which is good. So as this is like a new family starting moving in, and this is more family members join. So this expands like the workforce of the family, which is quite useful. It just means there's more people to do the job, which again is nothing to be complaining about. So let's maybe stick down a couple more houses. And I think we're going to do something like this. This is quite a useful one because this is going to be a big house by itself and probably one we're going to look to upgrade by itself quite quickly. Because if you would have noticed, we have the garden attached to it and we had another little house with a plus sign. And that allows you to have 2 families in one house, which is actually really good because it means you can basically focus on meeting all of their needs instead of meeting the needs of 2 houses. You only have to meet the needs of 1 house, which again is a pretty powerful tool. And then these guys can be assigned here. And we might do exactly the same over on the other side of it as well. We do something like that's going to be 2 houses with gardens. Yeah, I think something like that's going to be really nice. So we'll do that and that should sort us out. We'll stick these down at low priority. We're not in a real big need. And then I think finally, we probably stick down this tannery. Oh, we've already stuck down the tannery. Nice. Yeah, we'll make this a priority to build the tannery. We'll start utilizing that leather and get that sorted. And then, yeah, we have a lot more industry that can be built. And I kind of like this. We kind of have like 2 sections of housing. We have our farm. Again, they're working hard. It's not going to be enough, though, unfortunately. I'm not sure if it's possible to get it done. I guess if you start a little bit earlier, you can. But I don't mind this. I don't mind kind of focusing in on getting this stuff to, like, work early on. And, yeah, the berries should see us through the winter, which is good. We're already back to above normal approval, which means there's a chance people will move in. And maybe not quite yet. Maybe we need to go a little bit in here. Even though we do. We have eggs, we have berries, we have meat, we have bread. Yeah, there's a lot there, so I don't know why that approval isn't going up a little bit more. And yeah, just let the new family, send the children. The children yearn for the fields. They really do. Get them to start plowing. We need them to. So at least that, I mean, we'll have basically 2 fields set up, which will have all summer to grow, basically. All autumn to be set up. These will be fellowed to help boost up our fertility here. And yeah, I think that's a good start. That's a really good start. And yeah, there's one of the events right there. Resources stolen by nearby bandits. Basically, the brigands just come and steal stuff, and there's nothing you can really do about it. It's kind of like an encouragement to go clear the camp. Unfortunately, not something we're going to be able to do quite yet, just because we just don't have the militia. Even though you can see it is growing. We're up to 12 people now as we get more and more families to our little kingdom, which is nice, to our little birth. We still have no population growth. Apparently, we don't have any houses. Okay, cool. I didn't know that, actually. I thought that you could still get population even if you don't have houses. Okay, that means we're going to need to get this house done now so we can actually get this. Right now, we've missed out on chances to get population, which was really, really silly of me. Okay, good to know that you always need empty houses for people to come. I guess we're learning stuff. I was saying I had a good grasp on the game and I was going to do tips and tricks, and I didn't even know that. That is definitely a very good tip and a very good trick to know. Our logs are still fine, even though we're going to probably burn through a lot of them as we do this. The tannery is up. We just don't have the families. Do I give up on trying to produce these fields and get the tannery going so we can start getting some tier 2 housing? I think that might be a good idea, honestly. Yeah, let's go down to 1 family because we're not going to get these fields done soon enough. We are planting, which is good, but... Oh, we're sowing. So, yeah, we're sowing right now. But, yeah, I'm going to turn off one of the families, I think. Because, yeah, as I said, I doubt... I mean, we could maybe force harvest in the winter just to get going a little bit. But I think, again, it's just going to take too long. So let's do that, and let's bring over one of the families onto the tannery. That's going to start giving us some leather, which is going to meet basically the final need of the clothing supply that these guys need. And that does actually improve our approval rating. So even if we don't have a church yet, which we're going to be getting close to, it's still good because it does still improve your increase your approval rating, which is something you actually have to be quite careful of when it does come to upgrading your settlements. When you start going up to tier 2 settlements, they obviously require way more resources, way more variety and other things, and that can of course tank your approval. So you kind of have to go slowly but surely, and this is going to be good. So once these houses are built, we're going to probably focus in on building all 3 of these, just so we have a good little surplus of houses, help our families build up quite nicely. And again, we could maybe get rid of this family. The firewood isn't too crucial right now. We haven't got anyone in storage, right? And we have no one on there. Yeah, no. Oh, yeah, we could probably also get rid of hunting as well. I know you guys are doing the stall, but I just don't think we need it. These animals need some time to regrow. So let's take that family off of that just to help with the building, I think. As we do have 2 oxes, even though I think one of the oxes is being used over here. Yeah, which is busy plowing still. Yeah, still busy plowing over here. I guess it's hard work across the river. It really, really is. But yeah, nice. Cool. I'm liking this. This is a really, really nice start. This is probably one of my best starts I've had, besides the little mess up with the houses and the no population growth. Yeah, we're now going to be getting some low population growth, which is good. And they'll build these 2 up as well nicely. Cool. And we have plenty of logs still left, so we don't need to continue to chop down trees. And it actually looks like they're like setting up these trees again already. So these can be chopped down and utilized as well, which is nice. So our final goal, I guess, should be to get that church down, right? So to get a church, of course, we're going to, it's going to be a pretty important building for the people. We're going to need some planks. So planks are going to be our next goal to utilize. So to get planks, of course, we're going to have to build ourselves a saw pit. So the saw pit, I guess, is going to go over in our industry area. And I guess I kind of want to move where the logging camp is and get it like set up like here. So we could move the logging camp a little bit further in. So we could relocate this to like there to continue to finish down that. And then can we get the saw pit down? And then we can. That's nice. I like that. Can we rotate it though? So can we rotate that? No, it's going to be locked, unfortunately. Or we can snap it to road. So then we can do something like that. Okay, that's fine. So then let's maybe set up the saw pit. And it can go something like that, you know? Boom. Cool. So it's going to set that up. The logging camp is going to be moved out here. I'm not like too fussed on this being made immediately because we, of course, have this massive supply. So that can going to go low priority whilst we focus on the saw pit. And we have our tannery there, which is good. All of our hunting is going off. We got our two pits. I'm going to probably relocate this hitching post at some point as well. Our pop growth is going up very nicely now. If we get above 75%, this goes to high population growth. So we'll really want to try and just continue to get everyone's needs. And getting that church is going to be important. So yeah, the saw pit is going to be important. You can see them taking some stuff off there to relocate that as well. And I like that feature that you can just simply take a bunch of stuff and just relocate it once it's built. It does seem like some stuff you can't relocate, probably because it has stuff in. But the majority of things, and maybe it's because it's got people working on it, but a lot of the stuff you can just relocate, which is nice. And I'll show you as well, that button right there, you can expand the living space to allow more families in here. So this is going to be probably one of the places that we look to upgrade. Once it gets the family occupied and stuff like that. Awesome, our saw pit is now done. That's really good. So we'll stick someone immediately in there because we need to start making planks, which will then allow us to, of course, finish up and build our church. I think that's going to be, though, for next episode. Yeah, we're going to try and get this church down. And we're going to try and get the church down. I kind of like the idea of getting it down here in the southern part. We're going to obviously have to delete some roads, but that's really easy to do. I kind of like the idea of it, yeah, trying to stick it down somewhere like just in the middle of town. I guess we could also stick it out here as well. That couldn't be a bad idea. I feel like this is a bit too far away. But again, that's something we could do. I don't know. I'll have a little think about it. I kind of like it being in the center of town, though. Maybe like with its back facing this way. Something like that could be. But it's right by the industry, and I don't like that idea that it's by the industry. So I think most likely it's going to probably go down somewhere like that or somewhere like that. Probably something like that, I guess. Even though it's going to be right on top of our barley. I don't know. It'll be a hard decision. But I guess I'll let you guys maybe give me some suggestions down below in the comments as well. But of course, if you enjoyed this and you want to see more, make sure to subscribe to the channel, drop a like and a comment down below. As I said, if we get 500 likes on this episode within 24 hours, I'll make episode 2 an hour special. So yeah, if you want to see more of it, go ahead and hit that like button. I really appreciate all the support. Also, please let me know what you guys think of the game so far down below in the comments. Are you looking forward to playing this? Are you disappointed? Are you impressed? Let me know. I'd be very interested to see what the general sentiment of the game is. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode, where hopefully we'll stick down the church, we'll get tier 2 buildings on the go, and we might even go and try and clear out a bit of a bandit camp, get a little taste of combat. I think would be really, really fun. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, and fish out.